of course, with my colleague in government, Assemblyman Jeff Dinowitz from the northern part of the Bronx. And we are here to urge the people of the 33rd Senatorial District that on September 14th, that they should come out and support Gustavo Rivera for the next state senator. That's why we're here today. We're talking about folks in Kingsbridge, Bedford Park, Fordham Road, Norwood, and all of the neighborhoods in the northwest part of the Bronx. And the reason why I support Gustavo Rivera is very simple. Let me make it clear. I know Gustavo for many, many years. We all know and we've heard from the many different press conferences when you get information on Gustavo about how he has contributed to his to the Bronx, to the city and the state of New York, with his service in many, many different areas and working in many different levels of government. Gustavo knows that when we speak of housing, when we speak of housing legislation, that it has to be legislation that protects the tenants and not one that is imbalanced and that is just favorable to the landlords. That's why I'm supporting Gustavo Rivera for the next senator of the district. Gustavo knows that when you speak of health care, that it has to be in the area of the Bronx where we have such high health disparities. That health care has to be about helping those that are in most need, those that are frail, those that are ailing, and not just about lining your own pockets. Gustavo knows that when we speak of job creation, that he has lent his voice and will continue to lend his voice and not be absent in a whole citywide conversation about pay equity, where billionaires are getting multi-million-dollar contracts, and yet here in the Bronx, we're getting minimum wage and we're not having pay equity. Gustavo has been a voice in that debate, while the incumbent, Pedro Espada, has been absent in that debate. That's why, as the borough president, I support Gustavo Rivera. I also want to say that as the borough president, it is important for me to have partners in government. When you look at all of the different neighborhoods in the Bronx, as I work with the elected officials, whether it's the South Bronx, the East Bronx, the North Bronx, in Riverdale, the northwestern part of the Bronx, from Congress members on down, I have a working relationship. So whenever we speak of scatter housing location, whenever we speak of the homeless issue, healthcare, education, funding, parks, transportation, I'm always working with everyone at every single level of government. In the west part of the Bronx, unfortunately, I do not have that working relationship with Senator Espada nor Assemblyman Nelson Castro. So that's why today I'm telling and urging the people of the 33rd and letting them know that when you vote for someone, you're not just voting for that individual. You're letting the world know who you are as well. It is time that we stop the buffoonery. It is time that we stop with the embarrassment. As the leader of the borough, I am sick and tired of people looking at us in a negative light. We together can come on September 14th and change and continue to change that perception by electing someone like Gustavo, who will never ever embarrass us. Someone who will be a voice for us. Someone who will partner up with his colleagues in government in the Bronx. Someone who will let the city and the state know that we in the Bronx are serious about reshaping our future, and that we're going to do so that every one of the 1.4 million residents in our borough feel proud, and that we can work together, and that we're going to say no to individuals who are only self-serving, that we're going to say no to individuals who are an embarrassment. We're going to say no to an individual who embodies everything that it means to be bad in Albany. We're going to send a good guy up there, and I'm urging everyone to work with me to help Gustavo Rivera as the next state senator. Brevemente en el español, si me permite. Estoy aquí como presidente del condado del Bronx, pidiéndole a los residentes del Distrito 33 que voten por una persona, un individuo que por muchos años ha trabajado en diferentes niveles de gobierno, un individuo como Gustavo Rivera. Estoy aquí apoyándolo a él con el asambleísta Jeff Dinowitz, porque nosotros sabemos que en Gustavo tenemos una persona que va a luchar para los inquilinos, no solamente para los caseros. Tenemos una persona que entiende que cuando estamos peleando en términos del tema de salud, que queremos que la gente del condado de Bronx puedan beneficiar de un sistema mejor, un sistema saludable, que no solamente que no solamente es un individuo que quiere beneficiar personalmente del sistema de salud, como lo está haciendo el senador Pedro Espada. Yo estoy aquí como Rubén Diaz Jr., pidiéndole a la gente del Distrito 33 que necesito que me ayuden a mí, porque necesito una pareja en el gobierno, una persona que no nos va a bochornar. Y por eso, en esta personalidad, en esta candidatura, tenemos un joven que va a trabajar con no solamente los líderes del Distrito 33, sino de todo el condado del Bronx, y que allá nos va a hacer sentir orgullosos de por fin tener un senador que va a luchar por todos nosotros. Y por eso es que estoy aquí con el asambleísta Jeff Dinowitz, Assemblyman Jeff Dinowitz. Why don't you come up and say a few words as to why we support Gustavo Rivera?